Welcome to another episode of the Creative Masterminds Podcast.
What up? What up?
Fire podcast. I don't know what episode we are on at this current moment.
Maybe 15?
Is it 15?
15, I think. Maybe or
we
16.
are on episode 15.
Dang.
The Creative Masterminds Podcast. And funny enough, we didn't really talk about like what topic specifically we are going to speak about in this podcast. And so what you are going to get, you're going to get a glimpse of us freestyling a show off the top of our head. So, but you already know how we do. We first start out with a week in our review, or a week in review, where we review our week that we had. And actually we had 2 weeks. So a lot of stuff has happened. Cass, go ahead and jump off the week in review and tell us what you did over these past couple of weeks.
For sure. What's happening, y'all? Hope everybody's blessed out there. Last 2 weeks, man, had some good times, some stressful situations, and all that. But mostly I want to say that the fam is good. My sons, my daughters, my wife, you know, my mom's, brothers, dad, all that. Everybody's good.
That's good.
You know, so, but I'll say the stressful situation first.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple of years back, this company, I won't say which one, they came and
not gonna snitch on them?
yeah, I don't.
Okay, hilarious.
So they came and dug up in my front lawn. I didn't give them permission. The city did. You know, where I live. Yeah, okay. And they hit my water line, and so they said they was gonna repair it and all that. And me not thinking, I didn't get all the information because it was from the city. I suspected, that they got the permission from the city. Mm-hmm. So, but years later, exactly where they hit my water line, it's leaking, and the water bill shot up, and it was a whole bunch of situations. It was stressful. It took them about a month to own up to it. A lot of them were the people I spoke to. They were like, they're not going to handle it. It was too many years past due and all that. Mm-hmm. But it was a battle of faith and all that. I didn't hit my water line, so I was going off on telling them, I didn't do this. If I did it, then I would own up to it and I would take care of it. But you guys, I didn't give you permission. Y'all came on my lawn, hit the water line, and y'all need to take care of it. So, I had to stand in faith and, continue to renew my mind. Like I would tell them, I wake up, because this was in about a month span where I didn't know exactly how the outcome was going to be. But I just kept telling myself the water is fixed, going on about my day. We were recording podcasts and other different things in that span. So I had to stay in the right mind frame. And so it's taken care of. God put us through the situation. Yeah, so it came out in our favor. And so that was awesome. And
so how did it test you? Like, I guess, of course, I say your test your faith, like, or how do you feel you were testing, and how do you feel like you became better from the situation?
Yeah, it tested my mental, because that weight. I don't like things hanging over my head. I like to get things done so I can move on. You know what I'm saying? But they kept dragging it out. You know what I'm saying? So that whole time I had to stand in faith. Like, it's going to be taken care of, not be on the negative side. Because I think if I would have stayed on the negative side, that it wouldn't have turned out well. You know what I'm saying? That they wouldn't have taken care of it, got it repaired and all that. But me standing in faith, like going over and over again, like this is what we've been talking about in our podcast too, like the last 15 or 14 episodes or whatever.
For sure. You
know what I'm saying? So I had to put that to the test, and, thank God it came out in our favor. But I was standing in faith. I kept going over mentally, in my mind, talking to myself within, like, God's going to take care of it. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. They're going to take care of it. And that's how, it came out.
Cool.
So, but yeah, and other than that, that was the stressful part. But I've just been training clients and doing kickboxing and cardio boxing classes and stuff. And I really enjoy that, helping people reach their goals and feeling better and improving themselves. So that's awesome doing that. I love doing that. So That's mine in a nutshell.
Cool. So for me, where do I start?
Yeah.
First and foremost, you see this.
Tell them about it.
See it. You know what I'm saying?
Let them see it.
Ringed up.
Bang,
the boy
bang.
got ringed up. And so the wedding went down. It was a crazy build up to the wedding. A lot of like stress and tension in the household. Nobody tells you that.
Yeah.
All you guys, all you fiancés out there, you dudes, whatever, beware. You know what I'm saying? A week or two, or maybe the month before, or even just leading up to the wedding in general. I know it's hell, but there is heaven on the other side, though. For real. There is heaven. The wedding was beautiful. It was exceptional. It was better than I could have ever imagined. My wife did a spectacular job with her mom, her sisters, her family. Our family just came together and made it like a wonderful event. Cass was there, of course.
Yes, it was beautiful too.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
it. Thank you for having us too.
Of course. Yes. And so it was just a beautiful event with nothing but love, and it's crazy how I didn't really anticipate for it to like affect me so much. Just the event, the fact that you got so many people just loving you and just showing you mad appreciation, just giving you roses while you're there in front of them. It was just a very beautiful moment, man. It really just changed my perspective on life. It made me focus more so on family and more so making sure that I make sure my family is good to go and that they're in a good place. And of course, take care of myself, but also take care of my family. So it really opened my eyes to be less selfish and be more mindful of others. So after the wedding, I just focused on, the whole week after the wedding, I focused on just making sure that I had a good quality of life. So like the next day after the wedding, me and wifey, we went to go get some brunch. Then we got some couples massages. And then we went back to the crib. But before I went back to the crib, I picked up our little dog, Dixie, who is just a hell raiser within herself. Just barks at everybody, but she just loves you once she meets you.
She attacked me at the door.
Yeah, she's mad crazy.
Yeah.
And so like that's what we did that following day after the wedding, and then the next day after the Tuesday, we went on a nice morning trail walk with the dog, like a nice little family type of feeling right there, and it felt very peaceful, and those type of moments put things in perspective for me to make sure that make sure that your quality of life is good at all times, and that should be the main focus, and not necessarily chasing after this dream that you created yourself. Of course, your dream is very important, but you have to figure out a way to bring in the people who love you and who support you, bring them into the mix as well, and never forget them, and always be mindful of them, because they are very important. They are the battery pack that will support you and give you the energy to pursue your goals and pursue your dreams and achieve your dreams. And they're gonna be there for you, rooting for you. They're gonna be, there to love you, and just focus on people who are gonna more than likely be at your funeral. That's how Arian Foster put it, the football player. Focus on the first two rows of your funeral. I know it sounds very morbid, but you get my point. And so, focus on family, quality of life. Yeah. Then I got into some beat making, some light rap here and there. I only recorded like one verse, but I've been like in almost staycation mode, just focusing on quality of life, making some beats here and there. And I should be releasing something like really, really soon. I got a lot of beats that are basically done. I just need to do some tweaks here and there. So
got them on the tuck, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to release them. I think they're definitely one of my best works to date, because it's like all me. I'm not really thinking about radio play. I'm not thinking about accolades. I'm just making stuff that I love, that I think is dope, and I hope people will feel it. If not, it's cool. Just thank you guys for checking it out anyway. So
dope.
I think that's in summary. That's all that went down, like for me, weeks wise. Of course, I got some travel coming up, going to Thailand, and so been planning for that, and gonna do some pretty fly stuff over there, like go to like some elephant sanctuaries, and just cooking classes over there as well. So it should be a really fly event. And when I like to travel, I like to get into the culture of things and really soak in the culture. So I can't wait to soak in the Thailand culture. There you go.
Word up.
All right. So, as far as topics, what do you got in mind, Kaz? You got any topics in mind we can stretch on, or we can talk about
the attitude and how that makes a difference in our life and like success.
I like
and,
that. That's funny. My mother-in-law raised my wife to always be aware of her attitude, and like I don't think she said the same of like attitude is like your altitude or something like that, but basically
I've heard that. Yeah.
The point that she always drilled to my wife was you always have to have a good attitude, or your attitude is everything. I think that's basically the summary of like or synopsis of what she was trying to say with her saying. But yeah, go ahead, dig into that more about like your attitude and how you're aware, how you try to maintain awareness of your attitude, and how you try to also change your attitude whenever you see it in a not positive place.
Yeah, again, we go over these things, but it needs to be, you need to be reminded of it because it's so powerful. So I've heard people say like the most important real estate is the space in between your two ears, the mind. You know what I'm saying? So your attitude, positive and negative, is so important because what you put in your mind and what you focus on, like we said before, is supremely important because it dictates how you're going to act to life and how it's going to react to you. So like your attitude toward life and towards things, towards people, towards situations, is how it's how the world is going, or that situation is going to react to you, the attitude you're going to get back from it. Mm-hmm. So if you're coming at it like, this is, a bad situation, you're not feeling it, then more than likely the outcome is going to be that way because you're giving off that vibration, you're giving off that energy towards it. So it's going to bounce back. It's like, I call it the mirror effect or whatever, like looking back in the mirror, it's going to react to how you do. It's mirroring you. Mm-hmm. So if we look at our attitude like that, how whatever situation it may be, whatever relationship that this is towards, then that mirror effect, how you come off to that person, how you perceive that situation. And perception is very important too. Like if, for instance, you're having, you're in that situation, because it happens where we have a bad attitude towards certain things, and maybe the energy from something in the past is why we are looking at it that way.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
So that energy, we give it that, that kind of energy or whatever. But if we change our perception of it, like, well, if it's a person that we didn't have, the greatest relationship with back in the past or something. So what if we change our perception, tweak it a little bit to where, well, what about on their end? How do they feel? If I look at them this way, then what if I change it and like, well, even if they don't really care for me or whatever, I'm going to treat them with the utmost respect. Yeah. I'm going to treat them, like I've heard people say, treat others like they're the most important person in the world. And when you do that, your relationships and everything will be better, and it'll suit you better because you're giving off that energy. They can reject it, they can repel it, they can receive it, but you're giving that off. So whatever they do, you can move on.
It's true. Because like, no matter what, like how people may receive your energy, what I'm saying, that's on them. Right. That's my point I'm trying to make. That's on them. Like you can be like the nicest of the nicest persons in the world, but if people are rejecting that energy, or like that's them, that's something going on with them. And so I'll say like never, allow other people's like energies or attitudes affect the way your attitude and your energy, because you are responsible for your energy. You are responsible for your attitude. Right. You're the one who can determine your attitude. You know how you should know how yourself works, or if you feel like you don't know how yourself works, you need to learn yourself. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months, or really like, that's why I feel like I'm just so fortunate to not have to work a job at this moment, so I can focus on learning myself, learning what's best for myself, learning when I'm in a different mood and what moods work best for what. Like for instance, this past week I've been more so like in a very dark melancholy mode, but I try to make sure I keep it as healthy as possible, where I just get into this mode, and I use this mode mainly for me to make some very just this distinct type of music that I create. This very melodic, very chill music, and I like this mode that I'm in. However, I have to be very aware of my attitude, because if I get too deep into this mode, it's like an actor playing a role too serious. Like, I'm not sure who. Maybe we can go ahead and use what's the guy who played the Joker? Heath Ledger. They say that he was a little bit too deep into the Joker role, and he never really recovered from it, mentally. Yeah. And so, I understand it's a very dangerous place that I could go. However, that's why I try to be as self-aware as possible, and practice as much awareness as possible, and make sure that I monitor my attitude and know when to do things to get myself out of like different modes. Like, for instance, I always say that I go wake up, I pray, thank God first and foremost, and I try to do it more often. I actually do it more often now.
Awesome, man.
But that's like one thing that for sure will help change my attitude and help give me some peace of mind. The next thing I do is go work out. 10 minutes on the treadmill, that give me some more peace of mind. Now let me go lift some weights. More of that, more peace of mind. It's like you playing like a game of mathematics, really, where you try and add on to yourself and add on as much peace of mind as possible. Let me go hang out with wifey. Let's go to the movies. Let's go see Nobody's Fool, which is actually a pretty good movie. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Good work. Tiffany Haddish was hilarious in it. Anyway, that's a plug. And so, like, you gotta learn yourself to be able to like play this mathematic game with yourself, where you can, alter your moves. And I won't say alter your moves, because I think I'm kind of going on a tangent somewhat, but you just want to be practice self-awareness and be able to learn yourself to the point where you know how you can change your attitude and how you can just shift your attitude to be in the best like form for you to be able to achieve your goals and your purpose. So
that place that you go, that's for like creativity,
yeah,
right?
For creativity, straight for creativity, because it's not a good place to be in when you have like a relationship or you're trying to work well with others, because you're in a very moody place. Because naturally, I'm just an introvert, and it just took me some time to really build myself up to the point where I can be like a mix of both introvert and extrovert. Like, I can go out to places and be the mingle guy and talk and be very talkative.
Yeah.
Like at the wedding, I felt like very comfortable. I was like very extrovertish. However, at the end of the night, I was drained. You know what I'm saying? And usually when I'm at that point, that's when I like to make music, because now I feel like this very moody. I want to say Joe Budden because he created that serious mood music, and so when I say moody, I kind of think of him in that terms. But anyway, I like to get into that mode, like, because that helps me make like this very moody music. However, it's a bad mode to be around people. It's not a great mode to be around people, because I'm not talkative. I'm not really like, wanting to really interact with people. I just want to be to myself. And so
that makes sense though, man.
Yeah.
'Cause think about like Picasso.
Yeah.
When he's doing a painting, or when he was doing a painting or whatever, he's not trying to converse with people or be social. It's like your focus, you're pinpointing your energy. So that makes sense, man. And I'm the same way to an extent, man. I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So, that's the benefit of me being able to, learn myself, or me learning myself. I'm able to now, be aware when I'm in a particular mood, and now I know how to change my attitude, like, because I learned myself. Yeah. And so, I think it's always go back to learning yourself and then doing some self-evaluation and just really trying to understand yourself more. Because that's, actually I said this to my wife, like when you learn yourself, you learn in God of sorts. And I'm not sure where it kind of came from. It was like the saying that I just made up on the spot, and it sounded good. But, it comes from the belief of like that, we all are created in the image of God, right? Mm-hmm. And when you create something, a part of you is in that creation. So going along with that theory, I'm not sure why I'm looking out the window. I should be looking at the camera, my bad. Going along with that line of thought, like, so if God created us, then God is within us, you know what I'm saying? A piece of him is in us.
Most definitely, 100%.
Like, a piece of the being is in us, right? And so with that, great amount of power And I forgot where I was going with this, but maybe I just need to stop there with the jewel. Oh, I was talking about how I told my wife that. But anyway, no, I forgot about where I was going.
God is within us, man.
Yeah,
that's
God,
100% though.
Yeah, the creator. Yeah.
100%. Man.
Yeah.
And man, and that from what you were saying is I was going through the same thing, kind of like I call it the deep dive within. Yeah. That's what I was going through. Yeah. Like I hadn't made music in about a month or like 3 weeks, just because I didn't have that urge to do it, and I had a lot of other things going on. My energy and my focus was in other places. Mm-hmm. So that deep dive within, I was working on myself within, and I'm still doing that. Like, and we all should be doing that, to the percent or that you do that, that's up to you. But I think that's like one of the most important things in the world from what I've been, what I've been learning and what I've been, the energy and the knowledge that I've been coming in contact with is that the way we think and our attitude and our inner being, like how we take care of that, how we shape that, how we strengthen that, how we feed that that's like the most important thing in the world, because that will dictate our reality and how we bless others with our gifts, how we help others, and it's rooted in our purpose, what we're supposed to do. But first we got to get right within, like, you know what I'm saying? Get our mind, because we are conditioned to think a certain way, and it's not the correct way to think. You know what I'm saying? We should be thinking on the positive lines, and when negativity or whatever comes, then we should be gearing it back over to the positive way, because that's how good things come to us. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Good point. Yeah, because a lot of people, and I was in that world. I was really in that world where I'm trying to make sure I look into the camera, not the outside.
You good? Speak that word. Speak that knowledge to him, man.
I used to be like Mr. Negative, like where I didn't really believe I could do anything. Like there was a point in time where I would think about like, oh, let me go rap or let me do, beats, whatever. And I would think like, no, I'm too old for that. Like, or like, no, I can't do it. Or I had like this silly, super silly line of reasoning as to why I couldn't rap or be the best rapper. I had the thought that I couldn't be the best rapper because I was an Aquarius, right? It's so trash. I know it's stupid.
Shout out to the Aquarius out there.
Yeah. It was so dumb. Like, and I'm just telling the story just to show how deep we can go, like mentally, as to how we can tell ourselves we can't do something. Like I told myself, oh, I couldn't be the best rapper because, or a good artist because I'm Aquarius, and the Aquarius are a fixed sign. That means they always do things repeatedly, and they will say the same thing over and over, which will make them not great lyricists, and just stupid, silly stuff like that. And that's
J. Cole, Rick Ross,
Justin Timberlake. Oh, he got writers, but you know what I'm saying. But you put out two solid examples: J. Cole, Rick Ross.
They got the same birthday as me too.
Yeah, and so that showed me that was a bald faced lie, and that I was lying to myself. Yeah. And so I say that story just to prove a point that we can go into a deep dive, and like not deep dive, but we can go to a deep, crazy, twisted, demented reality and tell ourselves these stupid, ridiculous lies like you can't do something, and it's completely false. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Same thing that Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, and that book actually was the book that changed my mindset, my mentality to more so always think and believe that I can do something no matter what. It's whether I want to do it or not. That book motivated me and inspired me to go get my master's. Because the day before I read the book, I was like, I can't get my master's. No, it's going to be too hard, too difficult. But then I saw like this dude. Well, I read the book, and then I also saw this dude who I went to school with. He was getting his master's at the same school that I ended up going to, SMU. And I'm like, if he can do it, hell no, I can do it for sure. So, that was like a little help. But the thing is, I changed my mentality. I changed my mindset by believing I could do something. And it's that easy. It's like, I hope my wife doesn't kill me. I keep almost saying fiance. My bad. I hope my wife doesn't kill me. But we had a discussion the other day about like where she's at in life and with her job, and she's not really fulfilled with her job at the current moment. And I try to figure out, or we had a discussion. All right. So you're not happy with your job. What do you want to do with your life? And so I just asked her like a different question to get her to reveal things that she liked. And the thing is, she had this core belief or this thought that, okay, you can do these things, but you can't make money with them. And then as I asked her more questions, I actually got her to realize that she's just more so doing mental blocks, and she's preventing herself from going mentally into the direction of that she can do something other than her job or just work for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I say that's just to prove a point that, a lot of times we just block ourselves from going from doing things just because fear. That may be like one of the main reasons why like we prevent ourselves from doing things, because we're fearful like what can happen, or not being in a secure position. Anyway, to the point, just monitor the way you think and how you think, and a lot of times you just lie to yourself when you say you can't do something. And
that's the critic. That's that inner voice that we be talking about. Because when we're on that verge of almost doing it, like going down the lane that we should, and where our purpose and our gifts lie, because I'm sure she's gifted in those areas, and people, that's another thought came in when I was about to go somewhere, but the gifts that we have is very important, that we find like your gift and go towards that and push and master that. I know we have many different things, and a lot of people out there can do many different things. We all can, because there's greatness in us, because God is in us, like you were saying. So, but we need to pick a gift, and go towards that and master that, and then that will open up other things, because once we are able to master a gift, then that gives us value, because it's not about it's not about the job we do or whatever. It's the value that makes it so respected, and where people would want to pay to see your gift, see you do your gift, because that's what, like with Michael Jordan, what do we like? We like seeing him in his gift going off. LeBron, we like seeing him in his gift going off. Speakers and certain things. We pay Jay-Z, J. Cole, we pay to go to their concerts and all that, to see them in their gifts, to see them with their in that level of energy, and that them honed and mastered their gift. So we pay to see that because we admire that. But that's in every single one of us. That ability is in us, but we have to choose a gift and go towards that and master it. And then other, gifts and things, we'll be able to do that too. But we got to pick one first. We can't be spread out like peanut butter and jelly.
That's true. That's facts. I
don't know why I said the PBJ.
Hilarious. Yeah. To add to your point about like spreading yourself thin, with like the fact that you may feel like you have so many things you can do, so many gifts. I learned of a way to really get down to the root of it, like to your root gift. And so how I got to the point of like just going straight music was when I realized whenever I'm like upset at the world or like annoyed by everything in the world, music is where I will run to. Like I will go to my room, my office area, and just get on the keyboard and make beats. And as soon as I can get on the keyboard and make beats, I feel whole again, really. Like I will feel like good, rejuvenated, and my energy is back up. And so whatever activity you go to, that you run to whenever you're stressed out, with the world, whatever, do that. You know what I'm saying? That can help, replenish your energy. Do that. There's another point I'm going to add to that. Another reason why I know music is like, well, I love to do it, or is my thing, is because now I'm at the point where I don't want to get distracted from doing music. Like I'll find myself like going to YouTube, and then I'll like, no, I'm going to YouTube. I need to work on music. I get off YouTube or this other website called Boxing. I'm not sure why I was stuck on that crazy dumbass website, but it's a silly website with a bunch of teens. But I'm always looking on there for gossip. It's just like trash website. Sorry to admit, but anyway, like I'll get onto those websites and just like easily, or now at this point, I'm like, no, I don't want to go on this website. I just want to make beats. I don't want to play 2K. I don't want to play 2K anymore. I want to make beats. So that's another way I know that music is like what I love and what I should be doing, and that's the gift that I should be using to give to the world, and that will eventually reward me later on in life. And so that's one way you can do that. And yeah, like you said, Cass, it's very essential to be mindful to just pick one of your gifts. Like you feel like you spread too thin, pick one of your gifts. And one of the most important things about picking one gift or one thing to just stick with is the fact that you get to learn a process. Like just stick with that one thing that you're good at. Like with me, music, also photography, but with music right now, now I'm learning like the process of like, okay, with music, it's just like, you practice every day, you get better every day. You give yourself goals, you give yourself challenges so you can become better at your craft, and then you get to see yourself get better each and every day. And the thing is, like, this process is like the same for everything that you want to become better at. Like if you're like, for example, actually I learned my process through photography. And then after I learned my process through photography, I apply the same process with music. Like, okay, with photography, I practice, every weekend I got better. And then I learned different tricks here and there, and I got better. It's the same process with music. And now I'm going to take the same process and, apply it with the Creative Masterminds. I know that our first initial episodes may seem to be not as, good as we wanted to be, but actually we think they're all fire. We think they all are fire. But we know that eventually it's going to get better and better and better, or like it's getting better and better as we do it. And so it's like the same process over and over. But, the key thing is like you never will learn that until you pick one and just go through that process. And then another aspect of the fact that you learn yourself as you go through that process as well. And that's like one of the key, most essential things too. Like you learn yourself, you learn how you yourself react to the process, or you being in the process. That way, when you pick up new tasks, new skills, you know how to push through. Like whenever you feel discouraged, like, all right, I'm just feeling discouraged now. Let me just push through now. And so, yeah, man, it's very essential to just pick one and rock with it. And so yeah, with me, it's music all day. I'm just doing music to my grave, and I ain't going back to working for nobody. I'm about to do this music and make this music pop, and that's what it is.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Dog.
So I may do photography gigs here and there, but it's music all out now. So
no doubt.
Yeah. For real.
So that's a blessing, man, that you came to that, conclusion, and that, that focus of that's where you're aiming, your energy, because that's what's needed. We need to focus it somewhere and then push towards it, and then there's no way you can fail. Yeah. There's no way a person can fail if you aim your energy there and you keep going at it and you keep going. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you might need to take a little break or to recalibrate or whatever, but focus that energy, man.
And thing is, it takes time for people to come to that realization of what they want to do. Like it took me like months to really come to this point, after leaving corporate America, to really figure out, all right, music. Like the thing is, I kind of knew in the back of my mind that it was music, but the thing is, I was too fearful to actually go after it, because with music, you don't really see money on the up front end. Like you got to wait for the back end. Like with so much music being available out nowadays, it's kind of I have fears of like, will I ever get hurt, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. But you really get to a point where your back is against the wall, where you say, forget it, and it's all or nothing, now or never. I gotta put my best foot forward and believe in God, because 100%. The reason why I'm feel confident in moving forward with music is because of my belief in God, and how the being will always provide whenever it's necessary, as long as I try to be as righteous as possible, as long as I continue to pray to the higher being, and continue to persevere through the obstacles that come to me in my life, and and exhibit patience. And so that type of thing. That's where we at.
For sure.
Damn, I forgot. Oh man. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, Creative Masterminds Podcast. You just did like a freestyle, super duper freestyle show. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Now, just to reiterate, like we said about the mind, that field, that soil is like, the most important soil. So make sure y'all are putting in the right thoughts, you know what I'm saying, the right images, or what you're listening to, all that, because it all affects, how you will perceive life and what you will give to life. Because we were blessed to give, not just to receive. We're here to give, you know what I'm saying, as well. So that's an important thing. We're not trying to take as much. A person shouldn't be trying to receive and take as much as they can. We should be trying to give, because
that's true.
That contribution that's one of the greatest feelings in the world, to be able to give to somebody else, you know. So
now I remember what I was going to say. So on Joe Budden podcast, he had this rapper named Reason, who is actually a really good artist. I suggest you guys go check him out. And so Reason was on the podcast, and there's a point where Reason basically asked everybody like, hey, or said to everybody like, hey, I'm a new artist. Is there any advice you guys can like give to me, because I don't know anything about the music industry and stuff like that. And so anyway, what strikes me about that saying, or what he just said, is the fact that basically he made it to the point that he's at right now, which is like signed to TDE and having a pretty dope project out, based of like really not knowing, or him just filling out his process, or feeling his way through the process, I guess you can say. But just the point I'm trying to make is like, that's how I feel like right now at where I'm at in life. Like, I have no clue what the hell I'm doing really, but I'm just doing my best, or I'm just trying to make sure that I do my best and just feel my way through this process. And the thing is, I hope that kind of gives people encouragement and inspire others to just, hey man, if you don't wait till you feel like you know what you're doing. Just do it, and you'll figure stuff out on the road of you doing it. And the thing is, there's no better experience than life experience. So just keep doing it, keep going, just feel your way out. And because I have no clue what the hell I'm doing, I'm making this stuff up as I go. And I think I'm gonna go to a good place. I think I'm headed to a good place, but. Yeah.
Do you
have a compass, maybe?
Do you have a picture of the destination where you want to be?
Yeah.
And do you go? Because like the guys I listen to, they say to have that picture. Don't worry about like in between, but to have that picture, the place you want to be, and go there in your mind. A lot of times throughout the day, and have that feeling like you're already there, and then it'll come to you. That energy will come. That place, you will reach that place, because you're resonating with you're reaching that vibration. Like, you have a goal where you want to go. You don't know how you're gonna get there, but you know you're gonna get there, and you bring that feeling to yourself that you are, that you're already there, and that will make it come. It's like that mirror effect. If you're already in it and you're living and you're walking in the store and you're like, man, I'm already a producer. I didn't collab with Timbaland. I didn't, whatever your goal is, but you feel it already before, because that's what it talks about in the word. You know what I'm saying? True. Is to feel like you've already achieved it within you, and you will. That's it. That's how the world works. That's how the universe works, or whatever, that's how it works. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. So, it made me think about this part I read in this book, Ask and It Is Given.
Right.
Talking about how you can see, envision yourself where you want to be, and the thing is, like you talked about, your vibrations, where you want to be is usually will require you to be vibrating at a higher level, right? And so that means that you at this current point aren't at the higher level. And so in the book, it speaks about really, giving yourself time to, basically level up in your vibrations, right? And so it's not gonna be an instant from A to B right then and there, where you just go from low vibration to high vibrations. But there's gonna be a process of you going higher in vibration. And so I don't know. What you just said made me think about that as well. Like, yeah, like I guess it leads back to the point of making sure that you are aware of the process and the journey, and try to find as much, or try to love the journey as much as like the reward, or I would say love the journey more than the reward. Love the fact that you're learning something new every day. Love the fact that you're becoming better at your craft. Love the fact that you got one extra like on your picture that somebody liked it, more. Don't put your whole value into that, but start to appreciate the journey, like the little small things here and there that you will more likely get all the time, instead of like these the big payoff. Because the thing is, the big payoff is never worth it. Like the big payoff will always come and go, and you will always, like, of course you'll feel that big payoff in that moment, but then afterwards you're gonna go back to feeling normal. Like you're gonna be like, okay, whatever, so just try your best to always just love the journey, be in love with the journey. Love the fact that you're becoming better and better each and every day. Love the fact that you're becoming a better person each and every day.
Right.
And that will really just help the journey become more enjoyable, where you are enjoying life. Because that's like the main thing that I realized that I wasn't doing before the wedding. I wasn't really enjoying life. I was just more so like in this mental space of work, because I imagined that that's how you're supposed to be to be able to achieve what I want to achieve in life. Like, okay, that's why I see people on YouTube say, this is why I see people on different programs say that you have to work and sacrifice, work. Of course, that's true, but I wasn't digging what I was sacrificing. I wasn't cool with me, like, not being like closer with wifey and making sure that wifey was 100% good at all the time. Because I felt, when I was like when I was in super duper work mode, I was very distant from wifey. Yeah. And we came to a point where we realized like, that can't happen again, because the thing is, where I realized with the wedding, the household energy is very important, and a very key factor to the household energy is wife. And so, people killed the saying, and it kind of makes me annoyed, because like the saying is so real, the saying is so true, like, happy wife, happy life. But people have really cornered it up, like it's a generic thing that people don't really take serious. And that's what I don't like about it, because it really is true. Like before the wedding, the household was like mad crazy because wifey was mad stressed. Now wedding is over, she's not as stressed. The only thing that she's being stressed about is like because of work. But, I'm able to deal with that, and the household's a lot better. It's in a lot better place. But anyway, I'm not sure why I went on that big ass divergent, that tangent.
No,
but,
man.
But yeah, man, hey, make sure your energy is good. Maybe that's the point I was trying to make. Wow. Creative Masterminds Podcast. I think that's all we got for now at this very moment. Cass, go ahead and give out your socials.
Yeah, that's CAS_THREE. Also the Boxing Bell, that's all on IG. I do personal training and boxing, cardio, and also kickboxing. So if y'all want to, get personal training, or I'm looking for a fighter out there to train in boxing. I'm about to get my boxing cert as well, a boxing coaching certification. So find somebody out there and be training some boxers and stuff real soon. So
nice,
holler at your boy.
All right, cool. All right, with me, you can find me at Sean Breeze on Instagram, OG Sean Breeze on Twitter, OG Sean Breeze on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sean Breeze on Spotify. Beats are coming soon. Really, 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 really soon. Creative Masterminds on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, the Creative Masterminds Podcast. Search us.
Booyah!
Thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
This has been the Creative Masterminds Podcast. Peace out.
Holla, holla.